Coming up, there's a new documentary about Fort Drum that we'll tell you about. Excitable Boy is here. He has seen Skyfall. I'll have an Are You Kidding Me? And Just Joe performs our Song of the Week. Don't go anywhere. Reith is next.
Support for this program is made possible by the members of WCNY. Thank you.
As America fights the wars of the 21st century, soldiers operate under extreme conditions. One of the most deployed divisions in the Army is based in the Northeast region of the United States. For over 2 decades, its soldiers have served in the First Gulf War, Hurricane Andrew relief in Florida, guarding UN workers in Somalia, restoring order in Haiti, overseeing the peace in Bosnia and Kosovo, and fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. They are the 10th Mountain Division and are based in one of the most modern military installations in the world. Its soldiers receive the best training to be able to respond rapidly anywhere in the world. That base is Fort Drum, New York, and this is the story of its first 100 years.
And the producers and co-directors of the new documentary, Matthew White and R.D. White, are here to talk about it. How you guys doing?
Good, good. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for coming in. This is the DVD that's out there if you want to check it out. Where'd you get the idea for this, and why did you do this, I guess would be the obvious question.
Well, Fort Drum, I mean, of course, it's hard not to have it in your mind because being in upstate New York, Fort Drum, you know, was always there. And, you know, being history kind of buffs, you know, we always had an interest in it. And it was R.D., I guess maybe if you want to talk a little bit about, you know, you kind of thought of the idea of what if we do a documentary about Fort Drum?
Yeah, I've had that idea for a while. I've collected material, postcards, and actually things like this pennant.
Oh, nice. Camp Drum, New York. Nice.
For years, actually, and pieces of video. So, you know, it just all came together. We decided that it was time someone did something and had a really interesting history, and there were a lot of elements that people don't realize about it.
Well, I didn't realize, first of all, it's over, or it's 100 years old. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was originally created, President Theodore Roosevelt back in the early 1900s realized that the American Army was in pretty bad shape. It wasn't really ready to go to war. And what he wanted to do was he wanted to create one of basically 6 national maneuver sites where reserve and National Guard troops could go train, be prepared if they had to be deployed somewhere. And Fort Drum ended up being one of those 6 national training sites.
But why? Why, R.D.? I mean, why Watertown, New York?
Well, it really had something to do with the guy that picked out the location. Colonel Philip Reed was in charge of Madison Barracks, which had been an Army post in Sackett's Harbor since after the War of 1812. So he was given the assignment of picking out a spot, and he looked at a number of places across New York State and even into Vermont, but he picked what was called Pine Plains, which was near Watertown, and secretly he liked it because it was close to Sackett's Harbor.
Right.
He could march over there and not take a train to it.
Winter training was important and still is, of course, there, right?
Yeah, and winter training started in about World War II era. There was the 45th Infantry Division actually came up here from out west, and they put them through winter training because they were going to send them to Europe. And so that kind of got them a little used to snow and what it would be like, you know, having to operate in the snow.
They were a National Guard unit that was from Arizona, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. So that's why they wanted to give them some winter experience.
Holy cow. How much cooperation did you get from the Army and from Fort Drum in doing this?
Well, actually quite a bit. We mentioned R.D. Murphy used to be the public affairs person up there for 20 years. And I tried to get him to go on, but he said, no, everyone else can tell it. He said, you know, I'm comfortable being in the background. But of course, he passed away shortly after he retired in 2010. And so the other people in public affairs, you know, helped us go around wherever we needed to go.
It's interesting because in these last two conflicts, Iraq and Afghanistan, 10th Mountain Division's really been affected, really lost a bunch of people from all over the country. I mean, we think of Fort Drum as being ours and the people being ours, but they're not. They're from all over the country.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that we found interesting about the story of Fort Drum was the fact that it really has everything to do with national history. We tend to think of it as a local base.
We do, yep.
But it really is part of the thread of the whole country and how the military developed over the years, the Army, U.S. Army, developed over the years, and how all those changes kind of happen, and the people that kind of were part of that. People like Douglas MacArthur in the 1930s had the biggest training maneuver in the country up until that time at what was Fort Drum. Then it was called Pine Camp.
Wow, boy, no idea. How can people get the DVD?
If they go on our website, which is fourthcoastproductions.com, you can actually, it's got a whole website, and you can watch video clips and listen to the music and look at information and extras, and you can order right off that site. It's also available on Amazon, and of course, if you're up on Fort Drum, you can get it at the USO gift shop.
So it's Fourth Coast, and it's with the number 4.
Yeah, the number 4TH.
Outstanding. I think this is great, and of course, you're not getting this back. This is mine now. So thanks for
feel free to.
Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Oh, I feel free to take this. Absolutely. I can't wait to watch it. I love history, and like you said, we think of this as our base, and I can't wait to see it. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
That's the main event for today.